I think embodying mindfulness can teach as much as what we say. So, embodying mindfulness, even just looking at the word embody, the B-O-D-Y, to really embody your own body, to so mindfulness of the body is the primary foundation of mindfulness practice. And so as we teach, can we bring mindfulness to our body? In fact, the mind itself encapsulates the body. Mindfulness is not brainfulness. Mindfulness is not headfulness. The mind encapsulates our whole sensory apparatus. Including our nervous system and our heart. So, if we are embodying mindfulness, are we mindful of our body? So, including the body in our awareness. The more we sense into the body without judgment, the more we're actually increasing our ability to do that more and more, and with more nuance. In other words, we're strengthening the muscle of bodily awareness the more we practice it. We're building the insula in the brain that's responsible for proprioception, or being able to sense into visceral sensations, being opening to the energies in and around the body. And the more we practice this, the more we actually sense, the more we notice, the more we feel, the more sensitive we become to the different energies of the body, different elements of the body, movements, temperatures, elements, locations of sensations. The more we, so like mindfulness of sounds, a lot of people think that mindfulness of sounds is mindfulness of the sounds out there, but rather mindfulness of sounds, when you really tune into the nuance of it, is actually sensing or feeling the sound waves entering the ear, which is a physical practice. Smells, noticing the sensations entering the nose. Sights, receiving sights into the retina. And so not looking out at that, but rather receiving the pixels of sight entering the eyes. It's a very different experience. So as we're teaching, it's easy to kind of get caught up in concepts, thoughts, and strategies, and like the energy people around us, to the point where we lose ourselves, lose connection with our bodies, our emotions in the body. Emotions live in the body. Lose connection with the ground or the experience of our own internal landscape. And so, at each mindfulness, can we stay connected with our experience as we relate with others and encourage them to do the same? And so, mindful communication and mindful teaching is tricky. It's not easy. And so I don't pretend to simplify this for the sake of making this sound easy. It's not easy. But the encouragement is to see if we can kind of have this 50% awareness of our students and their experience, as well as 50% awareness of our own experience in our bodies. So it's not easy. But my point is to stay in the body, stay embodied with this non-judgmental moment-to-moment awareness. And so that's sort of the other piece here. When we're embodying mindfulness, we're embodying non-judgmental presence. So, can we refrain from judgments of ourselves or the situation or the students? And that's not easy either. But the more mindful we are, the more we notice the judgments arising, and the more we can be with that, and we can even use that as the object of our mindfulness and not judge the judgments. Stay with the experience of the judgment and soften around it by being present for it. And one way that I try to emphasize this non-judgment as a mindfulness teacher is by welcoming skepticism, welcoming challenges, welcoming authenticity, making it very explicit that however you're feeling, whatever you're thinking is welcome within reason. We don't want any violence or anything that's too inappropriate or sensitive, but to maintain that level of respect for one another, but to welcome authenticity, because that's what mindfulness practice is in and of itself, is welcoming whatever this experience is and just noticing it, staying with it. Mindfulness is not about feeling calm. Mindfulness is not about being happy. Mindfulness is not about, focus. Mindfulness is not about the outcome that we want. Mindfulness is not about the thing that we hope we feel. Mindfulness is about noticing what's actually here, whether we like it or not, and not judging it. So by welcoming authenticity in our students, welcoming skepticism, we are embodying mindfulness because we're present for whatever is, without trying to force any outcome in them. And so some mindfulness teachers will try to convince their students that they have to do something, or that mindfulness is the greatest thing since, I don't know, banana nut bread or something. But like, the more we try to convince, or the more we try to force it on people, or the more we try to sell it, the less we embody it, usually.